Do you still remember the hilarious "ew" that Smokey and Craig shouted together in Friday? That sound didn't just make viewers laugh out loud. It became a cultural icon spreading across the internet as a classic meme. Friday wasn't just your typical comedy. It was a raw lens into Black life in a working-class neighborhood, a place where laughter mixes with tears, where the characters, though exaggerated, feel oddly relatable and sincere. But behind the audience's laughter and the film's unexpected fame, the lives of its actors were far from picture perfect. Many of them struggled with loneliness, illness, financial pressure, and losses that could never truly be replaced. In 2025, as we look back, it's not just to remember the faces that once made us laugh, it's to honor the people who gave a part of their lives to the art, leaving behind unforgettable marks in the hearts of fans. If you've ever laughed, cried, or seen yourself in their story, drop a 1 in the comments. Let's remember together. Let's give thanks together. Share your favorite character from Friday, and don't forget to like and subscribe so you won't miss more deep emotional stories like this one. The journey starts now. Friday, where the laughter never fades no matter how much time passes. John Witherspoon, born on January 27, 1942 in Detroit, Michigan, is fondly remembered for his role as Mr. Willie Jones in Friday 1995 at the age of 53. In the film, he portrayed a strict yet loving father, bringing warmth and humor to the movie. However, behind the spotlight, his life was marked by loneliness. His marriage to Angela Robinson, which seemed like a peaceful haven since 1988, was in reality a journey filled with turbulence. Rising fame, non-stop comedy tours, and a packed filming schedule made home feel increasingly empty. When he returned, he often felt like a stranger, unsure how to reconnect with his wife and children. Friends recalled that behind the laughter on stage was a lonely Witherspoon spending sleepless nights in unfamiliar hotel rooms. He once bitterly confessed, "Fame gave me everything and then took it all away." Despite an estimated fortune of around $8 million USD, those numbers couldn't mend the fractures in his family. His health began to decline with frequent heart attacks. On October 29, 2019, he suddenly passed away at his home in Sherman Oaks, California, at the age of 77. He was laid to rest at Forest Lawn Cemetery in Hollywood Hills, the resting place of many legends. Tommy Lister was born on June 24, 1958, in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. In 1995, at the age of 37, he made a mark with his role as Debo, the intimidating neighborhood bully. But in real life, his story was filled with tragedy, quite different from the tough image he portrayed on screen. Lister was born blind in one eye due to a detached retina. Sports and acting became his only escapes. He won the National Powerlifting Championship in 1982 and appeared in over 200 roles. But rapid fame proved to be a double-edged sword. In 2012, he was arrested for involvement in a mortgage fraud scheme that caused losses exceeding $3.8 million. Despite pleading guilty and trying to make amends, his career collapsed. His marriage to Felicia Forbes couldn't save him from loneliness either. Financial stress and illness strained the family, causing fractures. In 2020, after contracting COVID-19, his health rapidly declined. On December 10, 2020, he was found dead at his home in Marina del Rey, California, at the age of 62. The cause of death was heart disease related to high blood pressure and arteriosclerosis. At that time, his estate was valued at around $1 million USD, mostly tied up in the house he owned at the end of his life. LaWanda Page was born on October 19, 1920, in Cleveland. At the age of 74, She appeared in Friday 1995 as a quick-witted and sharp elderly woman, a small role that left a lasting impression. Behind the laughter was a life full of hardship. From a young age, she worked dangerous jobs like fire dancing in violent bars. The scars on her body stood as proof of the harsh life she endured. Facing racial discrimination in the entertainment industry, she had to fight tirelessly to land roles. Her personal life was also filled with sorrow. She married for the first time at 14 but lost her first child. All three of her marriages ended with the early deaths of her husbands, leaving her distrustful of marriage. From age 30, she lived alone, pouring all her passion into the stage, the only place she felt truly alive. In her later years, she battled diabetes. Her health declined and she nearly withdrew from the spotlight. Her role in Friday was one of the rare occasions she returned to work for a living. She passed away on September 14, 2002, from complications related to diabetes at the age of 81. Her estate was valued at around $500,000, mostly tied up in a small house in Los Angeles. Bernie Mac was born on October 5, 1957, in Chicago. In 1995, at the age of 37, he played Pastor Clever, a small role that clearly showcased his sharp comedic style. Bernie Mac's childhood was marked by loss. His mother passed away while he was in high school, followed by the deaths of his older brother and father. These pains left deep scars in him. At 20, he married his high school sweetheart and had a daughter in 1978. However, his career often kept him away from home, leading to loneliness and family conflicts. Though famous for The Bernie Mac Show and the Ocean's 11 series, he quietly battled sarcoidosis, a chronic inflammatory lung disease that weakened his health. He kept his illness secret to avoid disappointing fans, but the pressure left him increasingly exhausted. He passed away on August 9, 2008, at a hospital in Chicago, aged 50, after 3 weeks fighting pneumonia complications caused by sarcoidosis. His estate was estimated at around $15 million USD, including homes and investments, after more than 30 years of dedication. If you appreciate Bernie Mac's story and legacy, leave a 2 in the comments. If not, leave a 5 so we can see how many people have touched his journey in their own way. Anthony Johnson was born on February 1, 1966, in Compton, California. At 29, he made a strong impression with his role as Ezal, a cunning drug addict and thief, in Friday 1995. With his natural comedic talent and expressive face, Johnson became an unforgettable character. But behind the camera, his life was a series of tragedies. Born into a family with a father who was a veteran stuntman, Johnson seemed to have a solid foundation. However, the pressure to prove himself and constant comparisons to his father weighed heavily on him. After the brief spotlight of Friday, he fell into addiction, the role of Ezal gradually becoming reality in his own life. Drugs were his escape whenever he faced rejection and failure in his career. His marriage to Lexis Jones Mason once brought some hope. They had 3 daughters, Antette, Natasha, and beyond, rare bright spots in his life. But addiction and financial instability caused their family to break apart. The marriage ended in 2004, leaving Johnson lonely and lost. After Friday and the Players Club, the spotlight dimmed. Small roles couldn't help him escape debt and despair. A panic attack at an airport in 2009 was a wake-up call, but he still couldn't find a way out. His health steadily declined due to multiple organ failure, while financial exhaustion left him unable to afford treatment. On September 6, 2021, Anthony Johnson was found unconscious at his home and passed away at a hospital in Los Angeles, aged 55. The cause of death was multiple organ failure in an already weakened body complicated by asymptomatic COVID-19. At the end of his life, his estate was worth only about $100,000, mostly tied up in the old family home in Compton, once a source of pride, now a quiet relic of a life that once brought laughter to the world. Michael Clark Duncan was born on December 10, 1957 in Chicago. At 37, he appeared in Friday as the Dice Player, a small role but one that left an impression thanks to his distinctive appearance and demeanor reflecting the chaos of working-class life. Behind his muscular physique was a childhood filled with hardship. Duncan grew up without a father, with his mother working as a janitor and struggling to raise 2 children. He dropped out of college to take on various manual jobs in Los Angeles, from digging holes and hauling freight to working as a bodyguard for stars like Will Smith, LL Cool J, and Martin Lawrence. His large physique often typecast him into roles as a bodyguard or thug, and few recognized the depth of his acting talent. In the years before his breakthrough with The Green Mile, 1999, he lived in despair. Even after gaining fame, he carried the sadness of being labeled the big guy. His personal life was also turbulent. His relationship with reality TV star Omarosa Manigault was praised by the media, but was fraught with conflict behind the scenes. When Duncan suffered a heart attack and was hospitalized in 2012, his family accused Omarosa of exploiting him, meddling with his will, and driving a wedge between him and his loved ones. Despite declining health, he continued to dedicate himself tirelessly to his craft. After The Green Mile, he made a strong impression as Kingpin in Daredevil 2003, gaining over 40 WLBs for the role. Yet he was always burdened by stereotypes and felt lonely within the very industry he loved. On September 3, 2012, Michael Clark Duncan passed away in Los Angeles at the age of 54 after nearly 2 months battling respiratory failure following a heart attack. His estate was estimated at around $18 million USD, including his home and investments. His funeral, though simple, was deeply moving, attended by close friends such as Tom Hanks and Jay Leno. Renaldo Ray, whose real name was Harry Reynolds, was born on January 27, 1940 in Wichita Falls, Texas. At 55, he appeared in Friday as Red's father, a strict but humorous dad, in the iconic scene where Red gets beaten by Debo. Though his screen time was brief, Ray captured the audience's heart with his natural charm. He began his career late after many years as a teacher. When he switched to comedy and film, he hoped for fame and fortune, but reality proved much harsher. Despite appearing in over 50 films, including Harlem Nights alongside Richard Pryor and Eddie Murphy, Ray mostly took supporting roles with modest earnings. Financial pressure increased after a bitter divorce, causing him to become distant from his children. In his later years, Ray's health rapidly declined. A severe stroke in 2014 forced him to retire, living quietly in a small house in Los Angeles while battling illness. On May 28, 2015, Renaldo Ray passed away at the age of 75 due to complications from the stroke. His estate was estimated at around $500,000, mostly tied up in the value of the home, where he spent his final years, a quiet end for a dedicated but underappreciated comedian. Yvette Renee Wilson was born on March 6, 1964 in Los Angeles. At 31, she played Rita the blind date arranged for Smokey in an unforgettable comedic scene. With her subtle charm and natural expressions, Wilson brought laughter despite her brief appearance. In real life, she faced many challenges. After Friday, she gained more fame with her role as Andell Wilkerson in Moshe and the Parkers, but struggled to find leading roles. Unstable work led to financial difficulties, especially after she was diagnosed with cervical cancer in 2000. Battling illness, she underwent chemotherapy, radiation, kidney transplant, and dialysis. When funds ran low, friends set up a fundraiser to help cover treatment and travel expenses. Her marriage to producer Jerome Harry was once a refuge, but the burdens of illness and finances led to their divorce. With no children, Wilson felt even lonelier in her final years. She once expressed deep regret for not having a small family to share love and memories with. The loss of friends and colleagues only deepened her despair. Despite being physically and mentally exhausted, Wilson maintained a brave smile in public. Her role as Andelle helped her keep working for a few more years, but as the cancer spread, she withdrew from the spotlight. Her final role was in Gankid, 2005. On June 14, 2012, Yvette Wilson passed away at the age of 48 after a long battle with cancer. Her estate was estimated at around $1.5 million, mostly from her home in Los Angeles, and a few remaining personal assets after many years fighting illness and adversity. Ice Cube, whose real name is O'Shea Jackson Sr., was born on June 15, 1969 in Los Angeles. At just 25, he made a strong impression as Craig Jones, a young unemployed man facing all kinds of challenges in a chaotic neighborhood in Friday, 1995. Not only did he star in the lead role, but Ice Cube also co-wrote the screenplay, turning the film into a cultural phenomenon and paving the way for him to become a major force in Hollywood. But behind the spotlight was a life full of loss and trials. Ice Cube witnessed the murder of his half-sister when he was only 12, a shock that left a deep emotional scar. After leaving the group NWA due to financial disputes, he faced threats and attacks from former friends and intense media pressure, a lonely and doubtful period in his life. His marriage to Kimberly Woodruff since 1992 seems strong, but hasn't been without its challenges. A hectic schedule balancing music and film often puts strain on their family life. Rumors of infidelity only pushed Ice Cube to work harder to protect both his image and his home. The constant losses from Eazy-E to Tupac forced him to confront pain and reflect on the legacy he wanted to leave behind. Although his current net worth is estimated at $160 million, including valuable real estate and a luxury car collection, Ice Cube has shared that money can't fill the void caused by limitations in the entertainment industry. Now at 55, Ice Cube continues his journey of lasting impact, producing films, acting, and developing Big 3 and innovative 383 basketball league. His works often blend entertainment with profound social messages. Chris Tucker was born on August 31, 1971 in Atlanta. At 23, he won over audiences with his role as Smokey, a funny, mischievous guy with a good heart. This role had audiences laughing out loud, but Tucker's real life wasn't so easy. After huge success with Friday and Rush Hour, he became one of Hollywood's highest-paid stars. However, fame also brought troubles. Tucker faced a financial crisis due to poor money management and bad investments, leading to an IRS lawsuit over nearly $10 million in unpaid taxes. Once a millionaire, Tucker had to sell assets to pay off his debts. His marriage to Asia Pryor ended, leaving him a single father to his son Destin, whom he strives to protect from the chaos of showbiz. The pressures of work and finances sometimes strained their father-son relationship. These experiences led Tucker to step back from the spotlight, seeking a quieter life. He declined roles in Next Friday and Friday After Next, not just for money, but because he didn't want to promote marijuana use, a decision that sparked controversy. The loss of friends in the industry and repeated setbacks helped Tucker find peace through faith. Now at 53, Tucker lives more privately, focusing on family and charitable work. His current net worth is estimated around $5 million, including a quiet home in Atlanta, a peaceful refuge after the storm of fame. Regina King was born on January 15, 1971, in Los Angeles. At 24, she made her mark playing Dana Jones-Craig's loyal girlfriend in Friday. Though she smiled brightly on screen, her personal life quietly bore many sorrows. She has a shining career, winning an Oscar, Golden Globe, and multiple Emmys, but her private life has been a series of losses. After a broken marriage with Ian Alexander Sr., she single-handedly raised her son Ian Jr., whom she considers her greatest source of life and pride. Tragedy struck on January 21, 2022, when Ian Jr. died by suicide at the age of 26, just days after his birthday. The overwhelming loss led Regina King to withdraw from the public eye, sinking into grief and guilt. Throughout her career, she battled stereotypes in the entertainment industry. Even after winning top awards, she still felt underestimated because she was a black woman. After her son's death, that pain weighed even heavier. However, Regina transformed her pain into strength. She became a powerful voice for mental health, social justice, and the rights of black women. Works like One Night in Miami and Watchmen stand as testaments to her journey of healing through art. Now at 54, Regina King has an estimated net worth of around $16 million, including a luxury home in Los Angeles and a car collection. But for her material wealth pales in comparison to the legacy she wants to leave: stories that touch hearts and messages that overcome adversity. Nia Long was born on October 30, 1970 in Brooklyn. At 24, she played Debbie, the gentle yet strong woman Craig falls for. That role became an emblem of beauty and resilience for black women, paving the way for Nia to shine in Love, Jones' Soul Food, and The Best Man. However, her personal life has been turbulent. Her breakup with NBA coach Ime Udoka amid a public infidelity scandal was a major emotional blow. As a single mother of two sons, Messiah and Kez, she has often shared the challenges of balancing being the family's pillar while navigating an industry rife with prejudice. Nia is often typecast as the ideal romantic partner, even though she longs to take on more complex and multi-dimensional roles. Perhaps her greatest loss was the sudden death of her close friend Naya Rivera, a shock that forced Nia to confront feelings of loneliness and the fragility of life. Since then, she has sought therapy, learning to heal and redefine her life values. Despite going through many hardships, Nia Long remains a symbol of strength and elegance. Now at 54 years old, her net worth is estimated at around $6 million, including a luxury home in Los Angeles and an impressive car collection. Isabel Sanford, born on August 29, 1917 in the lively Harlem neighborhood of New York City, was a groundbreaking African-American television icon. Over the course of her long and acclaimed career, she became known for her strong, charismatic performances that left a lasting impact on the entertainment world. As one of the few black women to rise to fame on American television during her time, she shattered barriers and paved the way for future generations of performers. Sanford was more than just an actress. She was a cultural trailblazer who helped transform the portrayal of African American women on screen. At the age of 84, when most of her peers had already stepped away from the spotlight, Isabel Sanford made a memorable guest appearance on the 2001 comedy series The Parkers, playing Evelyn Nana Smith, Kim's beloved grandmother. Though the role was brief, it carried deep symbolic meaning, a touching nod to a true television legend. With this appearance, Sanford once again showed her lasting spirit and powerful screen presence, adding another shining moment to her remarkable career and reminding audiences of her enduring impact on TV history. Despite her fame and the admiration she earned for her acting skills, Isabel Sanford's personal life was anything but easy or glamorous. She went through a difficult and confining marriage with William Richmond, a house painter, whose lack of ambition sharply clashed with Isabel's own determination and goals. Their relationship slowly became filled with tension and emotional strain. Over time, the burden of betrayal and ongoing conflict wore her down, leaving her emotionally drained. Although she spent years trying to keep the family together, the damage was too great, and true happiness always seemed just out of reach. In 1960, no longer able to live in such a toxic environment, Isabel made a life-changing choice. She divorced her husband and set out on a new path. With remarkable bravery, she moved to Los Angeles on her own, bringing her 3 children with her. There, she took a job at IBM not to chase fame, but to provide for her family and keep them afloat. During this difficult period, Isabel's resilience stood out. She was no longer just an aspiring actress. She was a single mother, a fighter, and a woman determined to overcome adversity. Her journey became a powerful symbol of strength, sacrifice, and unshakable determination. Isabel Sanford's acting career reached its peak with her legendary role as Louise "Wheezy" Jefferson in the hit series All in the Family and its spin-off, The Jeffersons. This groundbreaking performance cemented her place in TV history as the first African-American woman to win an Emmy for Outstanding Lead Actress in a comedy series. Her portrayal of Louise Jefferson became a cultural landmark, embodying strength, grace, and intelligence at a time when such representations of Black women were rare on television. Yet despite the awards and standing ovations, Isabel still faced the harsh truths of systemic inequality. She was often paid far less than her male counterparts and consistently overlooked for roles due to both her race and age, a double barrier that limited her career, even though her talent was never in question. After The Jeffersons ended, Isabel faced a difficult period in her career. The roles she received were mostly small guest appearances, far from what one might expect for an Emmy-winning actress. Hollywood, which had once praised her, seemed to turn away once she was no longer in the spotlight. In September 2003, she underwent major surgery for arterial stenosis, which took a serious toll on her health. Still, Isabel stayed hopeful and continued to support the Black artistic community. She became a strong advocate, speaking out against injustice in the entertainment world and fighting for long overdue recognition for Black performers, those who gave everything to their craft but were too often left out of mainstream cultural history. Yvette Wilson, born on March 6, 1964, was a gifted American actress best known for playing Andell Wilkerson on the hit sitcom The Parkers. In the series, she played the warm, quick-witted best friend of Nicky Parker and the endearing owner of the diner where many key moments unfolded. From 1999 to 2004, her portrayal of Andell won over audiences with her effortless humor, lovable personality, and generous spirit. The character quickly became a fan favorite, and Yvette's performance was widely celebrated, making her a cherished and recognizable presence on television during that era. However, behind the scenes of her success was a much more tragic and difficult reality. After The Parkers ended in 2004, Yvette found it hard to land major acting roles. Despite her past achievements and unforgettable performances, she slowly disappeared from the spotlight as the entertainment industry moved forward without her. The roles she was offered were minor and often forgettable, and her screen time dropped dramatically. Her life after the sitcom serves as a sobering reminder of how unforgiving Hollywood can be, where even great talent doesn't always guarantee lasting fame or opportunity. The challenges in Yvette Wilson's life didn't stop with her career setbacks. Her health declined quickly and severely. She was diagnosed with advanced kidney disease, which required ongoing dialysis and would eventually call for a kidney transplant. To make matters worse, Yvette was later diagnosed with cervical cancer, a heartbreaking discovery that became even more tragic when the cancer spread aggressively throughout her body. Day by day, her condition grew more serious, and she faced countless treatments while struggling with both emotional and physical fatigue. Her fight against illness turned into a relentless battle, pushing her strength and determination to their absolute limits. Along with the pain of illness, Yvette's personal life was deeply impacted as well. Her marriage to music producer Jerome Harry faced growing pressure from financial struggles and the emotional weight of her worsening health. Medical costs became overwhelming, leaving her with no option but to seek help from the public. A crowdfunding campaign was launched in an effort to cover her medical expenses, showing just how dire her circumstances had become. On June 14, 2012, Yvette Wilson passed away at the age of 48. Though her passing was quiet, the memory of a courageous, funny, and kind-hearted woman lives on in the hearts of those who admired and loved her. Thomas Michael Ford, born on September 5, 1964, in Los Angeles, quickly won over a new generation of fans with his role as Mel Parker in the TV series The Parkers. In the show, Mel is the ex-husband of Nikki and the father of Kim, the main characters, and Ford's performance brought emotional depth and realism to the story. From 1999 to 2001, his portrayal made Mel a standout and memorable figure for viewers, adding a distinct layer to the heart and humor of the Parkers. However, after reaching the height of his career with the role of Mel Parker, Thomas Michael Ford began to face growing challenges in his life. He tried to revive his career through appearances in other TV shows like New York Undercover and Who's Got Jokes, as well as stage productions like South of Where We Live. Despite his efforts, Ford found it hard to reclaim the level of fame and recognition he once had. The road back to the spotlight turned out to be a tough and demanding journey for him. Thomas Michael Ford's financial problems grew steadily over the years, even though he was often called the king of comedy for his stage presence and charm. Sadly, rising debts and unsuccessful investments left him stuck in a tough financial spot he couldn't easily get out of. His personal life also hit a rough patch when his 17-year marriage to Gina Sasso ended in a difficult divorce in 2014. The breakup left lasting emotional wounds and created tension in his relationship with their two children, marking a heartbreaking and difficult chapter in his life, filled with personal and financial setbacks. Despite the struggles in both his career and personal life, Ford remained dedicated to giving back to the community. He founded the nonprofit organization Be Still and Know, which focused on helping teenagers deal with life's challenges. Beyond that, Ford wrote motivational books and often visited schools urging students to believe in themselves and take responsibility for their choices. These efforts showcased his resilience and unwavering determination to make a meaningful difference in young people's lives, even while facing his own personal hardships. In June 2016, Thomas Michael Ford completed a powerful documentary focused on the issue of bullying, a deeply personal and important topic to him. This project marked a meaningful turning point in his career, showcasing his commitment to making a difference and bringing attention to struggles that many young people face. The documentary became a key milestone in his life's work, aiming to spark change and provide support for communities in need. Tragically, on October 12, 2016, Ford passed away suddenly at the age of 52 from a ruptured abdominal aneurysm, a serious and unexpected medical emergency. In the time leading up to his death, he suffered from chronic pain and mobility issues that deeply impacted his daily life. At the time of his passing, Ford's net worth was estimated to be around $2 million, mostly from royalties and his motivational work. Though his life ended too soon, Thomas McCall Ford's legacy and the impact of his contributions continue to live on in the hearts of fans and the broader community. Estelle Harris, born on April 22, 1928, was a performer who made a lasting impression on fans through a variety of roles, most notably her appearance as Agnes on the 1999 TV show The Parkers at the age of 71. Though it was a brief guest spot, Estelle stood out with her trademark comedic style and unmistakably cheerful voice. It was one of many highlights in a long career marked by determination and hard work. But as the years went by, the spotlight gradually dimmed, and Estelle began to step back from public life. Behind the cheerful personality and the laughter she brought to millions, Estelle Harris was someone who often felt overlooked and alone. Even with her success in voiceover work and commercials, she kept a noticeable distance from the spotlight. She openly described herself as a private person, someone who didn't seek fame and preferred to live quietly. While the name Estelle Costanza became a source of joy for countless fans, it also became a limitation, boxing her into a single image and holding her back from pursuing the deeper, more complex roles she truly longed for. The greatest loss in her life came in 2021 when her husband of nearly 70 years, Cy Harris, passed away. Their lifelong bond was a cornerstone of Estelle's world. His death left a void that could never be filled, and in her final years, she experienced a slow decline. While she left behind a powerful legacy in the arts, those last years were shadowed by loneliness and quiet grief as the world moved on and the brightness of her earlier days began to fade. Estelle Harris's memory and health gradually declined over the years, and a quiet sadness settled in as she outlived many of her dearest friends. In 2001, she survived a serious car accident that came close to taking her life, a powerful reminder of how fragile life can be. Still, she continued to bring warmth and laughter to audiences. In her later years, Estelle lived a quiet life in Palm Desert, California, mostly retired from show business and enjoying a peaceful private existence away from the spotlight. Through her significant contributions to the entertainment world, particularly in voiceover work, Estelle Harris left a lasting impact. But her life wasn't without hardship. While she always appeared cheerful on screen, she quietly battled loneliness and often felt overlooked. In the years that followed, she chose a more private life, stepping away from the spotlight and the chaos of show business. Estelle gradually came to accept the changes in her life, making fewer public appearances as time went on. Estelle Harris passed away on April 2, 2022, just 20 days before her 94th birthday, due to natural causes. At the time of her passing, her net worth was estimated at around $5 million, largely thanks to long-standing voiceover work with Disney and continued earnings from advertising campaigns. Though she's no longer with us, her career and the legacy she built will forever be cherished by her fans. Gary Coleman, born on February 8, 1968 in Zion, Illinois, became a household name for his role as Arnold on the hit TV show Different Strokes. In 2001, at age 33, he made an appearance on The Parkers as himself a bittersweet nod to a once bright career that had dimmed since his early fame. While his on-screen charm and cheerful smile won over audiences, Gary's real life was filled with struggle and unfairness that many never saw. He lived with a congenital kidney condition that stunted his growth to just 4 feet 8 inches and required ongoing dialysis for much of his life. This illness had a deep impact on Gary Coleman's life, setting it apart from that of most people, even though he had once been a beloved child star. Living with chronic health issues and physical limitations affected his everyday experiences and made it difficult to maintain a steady acting career. Still, Gary showed remarkable resilience and kept a positive outlook, despite his challenges, leaving a lasting impression on audiences and the entertainment world as a whole. Gary Coleman earned millions during his time as a famous teenage star, but tragically, much of that money was misused by his adoptive parents and financial manager in 1989. In an effort to reclaim what was rightfully his, Gary filed a lawsuit against his adoptive parents. Although he ultimately won the case, the amount he was awarded was relatively small compared to the fortune he had once earned. His story sheds light on the struggles young stars often face, particularly when their finances are mishandled due to a lack of transparency and responsible oversight. Despite rising to fame at a young age, Gary Coleman's life after the spotlight was anything but smooth, filled with ongoing struggles. He battled financial difficulties, serious health issues, and personal injustices that took a heavy toll on him. Gary passed away in 2010, but his story of hardship and the broader lessons about justice and self-protection still hold deep meaning today. His life stands as a powerful reminder of the need for transparency, fairness, and the importance of protecting vulnerable individuals in our society. $3 million might seem like a lot, but for Gary Coleman, it was just a small portion of the massive fortune he earned as a child star. After his fame faded, his life took a sharp downward turn. He struggled financially, worked as a mall security guard, and even accepted self-deprecating roles on TV just to get by. His marriage to Shannon Price was marked by conflict, emotional abuse, and isolation. Although they separated in less than a year, Shannon remained in his life during his final years, a presence that carried deep and complicated significance. On May 28, 2010, Gary Coleman died at the age of 42 after suffering a severe fall that led to a brain hemorrhage. His sudden passing stirred major controversy, particularly because his ex-wife, Shannon, was the one who authorized the removal of his life support. Adding to the tragedy, Gary's net worth at the time of his death was just $75,000, a startling contrast for someone who had once been a millionaire child star. His life stands as a powerful reminder of how fragile fame and fortune can be in the world of entertainment. Nancy Wilson, born on February 20, 1937, was a gifted artist with a remarkable music career. Celebrated for her warm, smooth voice, she won over jazz fans around the world throughout her life. At age 64, she made a guest appearance on The Parkers in 2001, playing the role of Aunt Rita, a small part that still stood out thanks to her serene presence and signature vocal tone. Though brief, her role left a lasting impact, captivating the audience with her elegance and understated performance. However, behind the beautiful melodies and captivating presence, Nancy's life carried deep emotional scars. Her journey wasn't just one of fame, it was also filled with hardships and personal heartache. While her music brought inspiration and happiness to countless fans, her private world was often touched by sorrow and inner struggles. Personal losses and complicated relationships left lasting wounds, but those very experiences helped shape the depth, resilience, and authenticity that defined her both as a person and as an artist. The choice to step back from her music career in order to focus on her family was not an easy one, but for Nancy, it was a meaningful expression of her deepest values. Music would always live at the heart of who she was, yet she also understood that love and family formed the true foundation of her growth both as a woman and as an artist. This decision reflected not only her sacrifice, but also her unwavering love for her husband, children, and family as a whole. It stood as a powerful testament to her resilience and wisdom in finding balance between her personal life and professional legacy. In her final years, Nancy Wilson endured a series of devastating losses. Both of her parents passed away in 1998, and a decade later in 2008, she lost her husband to kidney cancer. These heartbreaking events left her overwhelmed with loneliness, leading her to retreat from public life. She chose to live quietly in the mountains of California, seeking solace and serenity far from the spotlight. Nancy's health began to deteriorate in 2006 due to anemia and a potassium deficiency, which forced her to cancel numerous concerts. In the years that followed, she faced additional health challenges, including lung disease and cancer. Despite these struggles and her limited public appearances, Nancy remained dignified and deeply thankful for the life she had lived. She once said, "There's no place like Ohio where I started, and that's where I want to end." This heartfelt quote reflects her enduring connection to her roots and the sense of peace she found in returning to where it all began. Nancy Wilson passed away on December 13, 2018, at her home in Pioneertown, California, at the age of 81. At the time of her death, her net worth was estimated at around $15 million, earned largely through music sales performance royalties and international recording contracts she signed throughout her legendary career. Although she is no longer with us, Nancy Wilson will forever live on in the hearts of her fans, not just through the smooth, sweet melodies she left behind, but also through her unforgettable contributions to the music industry. Her image, with that warm voice and extraordinary talent, will continue to inspire future generations of artists and jazz lovers alike. Her legacy isn't just found in her recordings, but also in the memories and unforgettable moments she shared with the public, making her an enduring icon in the world of music. The divorce from drummer Kenny Dennis in 1970 marked a major turning point in Nancy Wilson's life. After the painful split, she stepped into the role of a single mother, taking on the full responsibility of raising her children alone. Those years were anything but easy. Nancy worked relentlessly to support her family, juggling the pressures of motherhood while keeping her music career alive. Despite the loneliness, sorrow, and constant challenges, she never let those struggles break her spirit. Instead of giving in, Nancy pushed forward, continuing to share beautiful, heartfelt music with the world, songs rich with emotion and passion. Her resilience and unwavering love for music helped her push through life's toughest moments, turning her into a source of inspiration for all who admired her work. The hardships she faced never dimmed her passion. Instead, they fueled her strength and deepened her commitment, showing that creativity and inner willpower can rise above any challenge. Through it all, Nancy remained a shining example of perseverance and a profound, enduring love for music. After marrying Pastor Y. Burton, Nancy Wilson found a renewed sense of hope and peace in her life. This marked a meaningful turning point, offering her stability and happiness within the comfort of family. However, the marriage also brought its own quiet challenges and unspoken pressures. As a pastor's wife, Nancy had to step back from many of the stages and public events that had once defined her career. Though music remained the core of her soul, she came to understand that this phase of her life required a deeper commitment to family. Embracing her role as a devoted wife and mother, she was willing to make sacrifices to uphold the values she cherished most. David Graff, born on April 16, 1950, was an actor best known for his commanding presence and decisive on-screen persona. In 1999, at the age of 49, he made a guest appearance on The Parkers as Health Inspector Paul, a brief yet memorable role that echoed the authoritative energy he had become known for, especially through his portrayal of Sergeant Eugene Tackleberry in the Police Academy film series. Tackleberry, with his intense military demeanor and obsession with firearms, became an iconic figure and cemented Graff's status in pop culture. However, the popularity of that role also proved to be a double-edged sword. While audiences loved him for it, the character's outsized identity often overshadowed Graff's broader acting abilities, making it difficult for him to secure roles outside that narrow typecast. Off-screen, David Graff's life was marked by quiet challenges and personal struggles. His marriage to Catherine Graff, which began in 1983, was rooted in deep love and mutual commitment, but had to weather its share of difficulties. Financial stress was a persistent concern for the couple, especially as they raised two sons who were still in school. Providing a stable home and quality education for their children became a priority, and David and Catherine worked tirelessly to meet those responsibilities. Behind his recognizable on-screen presence was a man striving to balance the demands of family, career, and financial stability. Despite the many personal challenges he faced, David Graff remained a devoted husband and father to the very end. He never allowed hardship to weaken his commitment to his family, consistently striving to maintain a balance between his demanding career and responsibilities at home. His resilience and selflessness were defining traits evident in the way he prioritized the well-being of his wife and children above all else. Even during the most difficult times, David's optimism never faltered. His unwavering dedication to his family stood as a quiet but powerful testament to the kind of man he truly was, one who found strength not in fame, but in love and loyalty. On April 7, 2001, David Graff passed away from a massive heart attack, leaving his family devastated and fans around the world in mourning. He was just 50 years old. His final resting place is at Forest Rose Cemetery in Ohio, the state where he was born. Despite a career filled with dedication not only to his roles, but also to supporting lesser-known actors and advocating for more recognition of background performers, David's net worth was estimated at just $500,000 at the time of his death. It's a poignant reminder that while he poured his heart into helping others, he may have overlooked his own well-being, both emotionally and physically. In the end, David Graff's life was a story of generosity, quiet sacrifice, and a love for the craft that outlived him. Throughout his career, David Graff encountered many obstacles, but he never lost his positive outlook or drive. The ups and downs of the entertainment industry didn't break his spirit, they only pushed him to keep going. He used every setback as fuel to work even harder, not just for his own success, but to provide security and happiness for his family. His ability to juggle both career and family responsibilities is a true reflection of his inner strength and dedication, especially when the demands of his job were high. Hit like and share. If David Graff's resilience and determination inspire you, leave a comment with your thoughts, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more uplifting stories like this one. David exemplified the quiet sacrifices that many in the entertainment world make to keep their family life stable. Despite the ups and downs in his career, he always managed to maintain a strong foundation at home. His tireless efforts to balance work and family stand as a true testament to his dedication, showing that with enough perseverance, it's possible to face both personal and professional challenges without losing sight of what really matters: family. David Graff often masked the weight of his financial and emotional struggles behind a cheerful demeanor and unwavering dedication to his craft. As acting opportunities grew scarce, the emotional toll became harder to ignore. His occasional roles and involvement with the Screen Actors Guild (SAG), though meaningful, brought little financial return, forcing his family to live on a tight budget. At times, they had to borrow money just to get by, which added strain to their everyday life. Still, David remained optimistic, never allowing his personal worries to surface publicly. He continued to pour his heart into his work, committed to his passion, despite the hardships, and determined not to let his circumstances define him. Though clear health warning signs had begun to appear, David Graff chose to downplay them, believing they were merely the result of stress and fatigue. He experienced recurring chest pain, shortness of breath, and ongoing exhaustion, but dismissed these symptoms as temporary. When faced with the decision to prioritize his health or attend his brother-in-law's wedding in Phoenix, David chose the latter, postponing a crucial heart checkup. He was confident he could manage, unaware of how serious the danger truly was. Tragically, just hours after arriving in Phoenix, David suddenly collapsed, the signs of a looming heart attack having gone unheeded. Jean Sincere was born on August 16, 1919. In 2003, at the age of 84, she appeared in The Parkers as Woman, a brief role that showcased her steadfast dedication to acting across nearly 8 decades. Her presence carried the weight of a lifetime spent in the spotlight, from stage performances in Brigadoon and Wonderful Town to her memorable voice role as Mrs. Hoganson in The Incredibles. Yet behind this long career was a life marked by loss. During World War II, she was among the performers who quietly entertained U.S. military troops, contributing without seeking personal fame. Her marriage to Charles Carmine Zambalou, which began in 1949, was once seen as unbreakable. However, after Charles passed away in 1992, Jean nearly withdrew from the world and spent the following 2 decades in solitude. The loss of her husband deeply affected her, leading her to retreat inward. Although she had 2 successful children, an opera director and an art dealer, Jean chose a quiet life away from Hollywood's spotlight. In her later years, she suffered from age-related memory loss and eventually forgot many of the roles she once played. Jean Sincere passed away on April 3, 2013 in Los Angeles at the age of 93 due to natural causes. Johnny Brown, born on June 11, 1937, was a well-known figure in Hollywood during the 1970s and 80s. He gained widespread recognition for his role as Bookman JJ's friend on Good Times, but like many actors, faced challenges in sustaining his career after those peak years. At age 66 in 2003, he made a brief guest appearance on The Parkers as the Man, a small role that may have gone unnoticed by many, but spoke volumes about his perseverance in the industry. While the part brought laughs to audiences, it also represented an important moment in Johnny's long career, highlighting both the successes and the struggles he endured along the way. Following the success of Good Times, Johnny Brown worked to keep his career alive with guest roles on popular shows, like The Jeffersons' Martin Family Matters and Keenan and Kel. Despite his warm smile, distinctive voice, and strong acting talent, he struggled to escape the long shadow cast by his character Bookman. Hollywood, known for quickly moving on from actors tied to certain roles, slowly began to overlook Johnny Brown. Though he fought to make a comeback, chances to reclaim major stardom were scarce and infrequent. Since the 1990s, Johnny Brown's career gradually faded from the spotlight. Though he occasionally returned with guest appearances, real opportunities to highlight his talent had mostly dried up. Rather than leading roles, he was often seen in commercials or tribute music videos, reminders of the beloved Good Times legacy that fans cherished. This reality reflects the harsh truth of the entertainment industry. Even big stars can be forgotten over time. Yet Johnny remained an important and cherished figure in the hearts of many who admired him. Alongside his acting career, Johnny Brown enjoyed a fulfilling and happy family life. He was married to June Brown for over 6 decades, a devoted partner who supported him through life's highs and lows. Johnny was also the father of 2 children, including actress Sharon Catherine Brown, who followed his path into the entertainment world. While his career slowly waned, Johnny remained a devoted father and husband, leading a rich and peaceful life surrounded by his loved ones. Feeling overlooked by the industry took a heavy toll on Johnny Brown's mental health. In the later years of his career, as opportunities grew scarce and the glow of Good Times faded, Johnny felt increasingly forgotten. He once revealed that the experience of being abandoned and invisible in a world that had once celebrated him led to deep depression and disappointment. The fight to sustain his career, combined with the scarcity of roles, brought a difficult period of sorrow. Yet despite the loneliness and sadness, Johnny showed remarkable resilience, living in the shadow of his past, but never losing faith in himself. On March 2, 2022, Johnny Brown faced a critical moment when he left a doctor's appointment where he was scheduled to have a pacemaker implanted. His health had seriously declined, and the surgery was hoped to improve his condition. However, shortly after leaving the clinic, Johnny suddenly collapsed and was rushed to a hospital in Los Angeles. Despite emergency efforts, he was unable to recover and passed away at the age of 84. His death left a deep void in the hearts of his family, friends, and the many fans who had followed his career for decades. Johnny Brown's passing left behind a quiet yet profoundly meaningful legacy. Though he was no longer in the spotlight as he once was, his life stands as a testament to his relentless dedication to the entertainment industry. He was a cherished figure for generations of viewers who loved Good Times and the many other shows he contributed to. While his career didn't remain at its peak indefinitely, Johnny Brown's legacy lives on in the hearts of those who admired him as a gifted artist, a devoted father, and a loving husband. James Karen, born Jacob Karnofsky on November 28, 1923 in Pennsylvania, was a seasoned Hollywood actor. Known for his memorable roles in films like Poltergeist Wall Street, The Return of the Living Dead, and The Pursuit of Happiness, he left a lasting mark on the industry. With a career spanning many decades, James Karen became a symbol of dedication, delivering deep and emotionally rich performances. Even at age 77, he remained active, making a guest appearance in The Parkers in 2000 as Robert Vanlo, a small but serious role that reflected the presence of a veteran actor who had endured many highs and lows throughout his journey. While James Caron's career was marked by success, his personal life faced its share of challenges. He was once married to folk singer and actress Susan Reed, but their marriage ended in 1967. Though they had a son together, Reed-Caron, their relationship gradually grew distant and eventually could not be maintained. The cost of his distinguished career and fame in the entertainment industry was a personal life filled with silence and emptiness. Despite being beloved and respected professionally, James Caron faced significant struggles in his family and emotional life. In the final years of his life, James Caron confessed to living with a constant fear, the fear of being forgotten. Though he never pursued fame or the spotlight, he was haunted by the idea that decades of dedication to his craft might quickly vanish into obscurity, overshadowed by younger stars with growing popularity and fast-moving careers. While his career had peaked with memorable roles, he quietly carried the anxiety of being erased by time. James Caron didn't seek notoriety or fame. He simply hoped that his contributions would be remembered long after he was gone. Despite this, James Caron was a deeply introspective and reserved man who lived away from the spotlight. He wasn't the loudest voice in the room, but was always the most considerate and thoughtful. Living a humble life, he avoided noise and fanfare, yet left a lasting impact through his careful work and sincere words. His gentle nature and solitary lifestyle painted a picture of quiet dignity, embodying wisdom and a deep understanding of life's true essence. As he entered his 90s, James Caron's health noticeably declined. His memory began to fade, his strength diminished, and he gradually withdrew from public life. Yet his passion and enthusiasm for acting remained strong. James Caron refused to let age hold him back. He continued appearing in films even when his body signaled the need for rest and recovery. This determination showcased his unwavering professional spirit and deep commitment to his craft. In the final years of his career, James Caron took on a role that many viewed as a highlight of his journey when he appeared in The Pursuit of Happiness. However, most of his later work consisted of smaller parts in lower-budget films, no longer the major or leading roles he once held. Despite this, James Caron remained active, showing unwavering passion and dedication to his craft, despite physical and age-related challenges. He never let his body's decline stand in the way of his love for acting. At the time of his death, James Caron's net worth was estimated to be around $1 million, a modest sum compared to many other Hollywood stars. Most of his income came from royalties and television appearances. However, for those who knew him or followed his career, the true worth of James Caron could never be measured in money. He represented a generation of quiet artists who valued humility and a deep love for their craft above the glitz and glamour of fame. Although he never secured leading roles during his career, Terry Rhodes stayed deeply passionate about acting throughout the years. His career was often marked by supporting parts, but each appearance proved his ability to captivate even in the briefest moments. Despite missing out on the spotlight many of his peers enjoyed, Terry brought a unique artistry to his performances, demonstrating unwavering dedication and love for his craft. Terry began his career in the 1980s, steadily building a reputation through supporting roles in popular sitcoms like Friends, Seinfeld, House MD, and Desperate Housewives. Each appearance highlighted his signature charm and precise acting skills. However, Hollywood never gave him the chance to lead. Being typecast as the spiritual substitute quietly weighed on Terry, bringing professional disappointment as many of his peers gained fame and recognition. The lack of opportunities to shine in major roles was a deep sadness for him, knowing his talent deserved greater acknowledgement. Terry's personal life was not without its struggles. After divorcing his first wife, Deborah Renee Yetter, the mother of his 2 children, he remarried actress Lisa Sims in 1990, and they stayed together until his final days. Despite the love and stability in his home with Lisa, Terry openly expressed that his greatest regret was not having children with her. This unfulfilled longing stayed with him throughout his later years, adding a poignant layer to his life's story. Though surrounded by love, this lingering sorrow remained a quiet but significant part of his journey. Fate challenged him not only with a career that went mostly unnoticed, but also with a painful and rare illness, amyloidosis, a crippling disease that drained his strength and spirit. For nearly a year, he battled the severe toll of the illness, eventually growing too weak to keep working. Terry Rhodes died on October 11, 2013, in Encino, California, at the age of 61. He passed away in the arms of his second wife, his quiet and loyal partner, who remained by his side until the very end. Robert Doakey, born on April 20, 1934, in Stillwater, Oklahoma, was a gifted actor known for his unique charm and calm, steady presence. At age 67, he made a brief but memorable appearance in The Parkers in 2001, playing Walter, a short guest role that highlighted the quiet strength he brought to every performance. With his deep, resonant voice and composed demeanor, Doakey easily commanded attention on screen. Yet despite his talent, Hollywood often relegated him to supporting roles, offering few chances to shine as a leading man. Throughout his career, Doakey was often cast in supporting roles, seldom given the opportunity to fully showcase his talents in leading parts. His performances were consistently impressive and captivating, yet at times they were overshadowed in Hollywood's focus on big-name stars. Even in the RoboCop trilogy, where he played Sergeant Reed in all 3 films, his character was never fully developed to reflect his true potential. Doakey was always dependable and easily recognizable, but his roles were frequently limited despite the depth and strength he brought to each character. Despite the setback of not landing leading roles, Robert Doakey left an indelible mark on cinema. His distinctive voice and commanding presence made a lasting impression, even though his performances didn't always get the recognition they deserved. While he never reached the fame of some peers, Doakey made a significant impact through films like RoboCop and various TV roles, becoming a familiar and respected figure in the industry. His legacy isn't measured by the number of lead roles, but by the strength, perseverance, and professionalism he consistently brought to every performance. For many years, he battled chronic lung disease, a debilitating condition he chose to keep private. Doakey rarely spoke about his declining health, instead continuing to take on small roles in television shows like Star Trek Deep Space Nine and The Parkers. Though he maintained a presence in the industry he loved, his health steadily worsened, leaving him increasingly weak. Nevertheless, he never gave up on his craft, always striving to stay active in the industry to which he had devoted his heart and soul throughout his life. Terry Rhodes, born on December 31, 1951, in Phoenix, Arizona, was a talented artist who never quite received the recognition he deserved from Hollywood. In 2003, at the age of 52, he appeared in The Parkers in a small guest role as Reginald. Despite his declining health, he continued to take on minor roles in television shows, including Star Trek Deep Space Nine and The Parkers. Though he maintained a steady presence in the industry he loved, his health gradually worsened, leaving him increasingly weak. Nevertheless, he never gave up on his craft, always striving to hold on to his place in the industry to which he had devoted his heart and soul throughout his life. On February 9, 2008, Robert Doquy passed away at the age of 73 in Los Angeles due to natural causes. To many fans, he will always be remembered as the steadfast and fearless police sergeant from RoboCop, standing strong amid chaos. But beyond the screen, he was something even more powerful, a silent warrior and dedicated performer who never gave up continuing to show up even when the world seemed to turn away. Andre Rosie Brown, born on February 7, 1956 in Rockford, Illinois, started his acting career in Hollywood, where his large build often shaped the roles he received. In 2002, at age 46, he guest-starred on The Parkers as Lamar, a supporting role that matched the typecasting Hollywood often gave to men with big physiques like his. Throughout his career, Andre was often cast as bodyguards, security guards, and other imposing figures roles that, though steady, didn't give him the chance to explore more emotionally rich and complex characters. Despite his many screen appearances, his filmography lacked a standout defining role which caused him great frustration. He yearned for parts with emotional depth and complexity, but was often limited to roles that highlighted only his physical presence. This lack of recognition for his acting range deeply hurt him, as he knew he had much more to offer beyond the typical roles he was assigned. Aware of the stereotypes tied to his appearance, Andre's struggles went beyond the studio doors. His long marriage to Deborah Brown began to fall apart after he faced extended unemployment following his retirement from the police force in 1998. The financial strain weighed heavily on the family, and Andre, who had always taken pride in being the breadwinner, found himself chasing his acting dream under growing pressure. He often accepted roles just to pay the bills, no matter the quality or significance of the work, leaving him frustrated and unfulfilled in his career. Each career setback forced him back into forgettable small roles on Friends Frasier, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, just another muscular guy in the background. Yet he never publicly complained. In light interviews, he would say, "I just want a role where people remember my name, not just my size." On July 18, 2006, Andre suddenly died of a heart attack in Northridge, California at age 50. His death followed a private battle with illness, which he kept hidden to spare his family from worry. Tina Marie, born Mary Christine Brockert, on March 5, 1956 in Santa Monica, California, was a celebrated figure in R&B music. Over the course of her career, she earned a unique place as a white artist who was both accepted and respected by Black audiences, a rare and significant achievement in the music world. In 2000, at 44 years old, Tina made a standout appearance on The Parkers, playing herself as a legendary R&B icon. Her role was more than just a cameo. It honored the voice behind the hit song Lover Girl, one of her biggest successes. This appearance was one of the few times she was seen on television after enduring a rocky stretch in her career marked by both personal and professional struggles. During the early 1980s, Tina Marie waged a tough legal battle against Motown Records, a fight that would leave a lasting mark on her career. Stuck in a contract that blocked her from releasing new music, she struggled with serious financial problems and sank into a deep depression. The limits on her creativity were a devastating setback, not just for her career, but for her spirit. Still, this fight turned Tina into a symbol of legal resistance against exploitation, eventually leading to the Brockert Initiative, a law created to protect artists from unfair treatment by record labels. Her struggle wasn't just about winning her own freedom, it was about pushing for fairness for others in the industry too. Tina's legal battle and the creation of the Brockert Initiative marked a major turning point in her life, but it came at a price. The pain and struggles from those years left a lasting impression on her, yet they also shaped her into a pioneer for artists' rights. Despite the hardships, Teena Marie's influence in the music industry remained strong. She became a source of inspiration, not just for her powerful voice and musical talent, but for her bravery in challenging the system. The deep respect and admiration she earned, particularly from the Black community, stood as proof of her resilience and undeniable gift. At the same time, Teena Marie's personal life grew increasingly stressful as she raised her daughter Aaliyah Rose alone without a partner. Though she shared a close bond with the late Rick James, Teena never married. Behind the glamour of the spotlight, she was a lonely woman often talking about love that never fully took root. She expressed feelings of isolation and the lack of lasting love in her life emotions that stayed with her despite her huge success in music. While Teena reached great heights in her career, she often faced personal loneliness, a theme that echoed throughout both her life and her music. In 2004, Teena suffered a serious accident when a bed frame hit her head, causing prolonged seizures and neurological problems that greatly affected her ability to perform. This health issue later played a role in her untimely death. Although she kept writing and performing, her worsening health stopped her from reaching the career heights she once had. Teena Marie passed away suddenly in her sleep on December 26, 2010, at the age of 54, just one day after her daughter Aaliyah Rose's birthday. Despite the many highs and lows in her life and career, Teena Marie left behind a rich musical legacy, becoming a lasting icon in R&B music. With an estimated net worth of about $3 million, Teena is remembered not just for her remarkable talent, but also for her resilience through personal and professional challenges. Her life and career stand as a tribute to her strength and unbreakable spirit. The stars of the Parkers left unforgettable legacies, but their struggles remind us of the cost of fame. Which character connected with you the most? How did their story make you feel? Drop a comment with a 1 if you relate to today's story, or a 0 if you see it differently. Share your thoughts below and don't forget to like this video if you found it interesting. Be sure to subscribe so you won't miss more captivating stories. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.